What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be restoring this GSXR. It's been sitting for a couple years according to what I was told, and there's lots of rust, lots of corrosion. That is no way, but that is no state for a super sport motorcycle to be in. So we're going to get as much as possible done to restore this to better than OEM. Let's get some work on the way. So we have a lot of parts for this motorcycle. Like I said, the first thing we're going to be installing is the spark plugs. So we're going to remove the tank, remove the air box, get to those coil packs, remove it, and throw in those spark plugs. Okay guys, right now we have the stock air filter out, and as you can see, quite dirty. This should have been changed out at least a couple thousand kilometers ago, but it's a good thing right now we're getting this work done. Next we're going to go ahead and remove the air box. There's a 10mm up here, and there are fasteners for each cylinder that needs to be removed. And guys, just like that, we have the airbox out, and I'm going to show you exactly where the coils are located on this bike. Very easily accessible, right up in here. Those are the coil packs. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to pop that off and get to the spark plugs. I have the spark plugs out. If the camera is gonna focus, they're all really burnt. They actually smell like gasoline, so it's almost like they've been fouled and saturated, which is really not good. Guess it's a good thing we're getting this done. For most bikes, if people don't know, you should be changing your spark plug at least 15 to 20,000 kilometers at the very max. You might want to do it earlier. It's cheap enough, it's preventive maintenance. Just get it done. You can do it yourself, you can pay someone to do it, but it's something you should do at least every couple years and every 15 to 20,000 kilometers. Now the new spark plugs go in. So I'm going to add some dielectric grease to the coil packs before installing it back on the motorcycle. Okay, so the next parts we're going to be throwing on this bike is going to be this K&N race air filter. Really good stuff. They've been in the business for a very long time, so really high quality stuff. I'm gonna open it up, toss it in the bike, and completely put it back together. Alrighty folks, for the spark plugs and air filter installed, the next parts we're going to be turning on this bike is going to be the front and rear sprockets and some new chains. Obviously, as you can tell, this is in really bad condition. Let's change that. Right now we have the old chain and old sprocket out. I think by far that's the worst chain I've ever seen on a motorcycle. So I'm going to clean things up here a little bit and get ready to install the new sprockets and that brand new chain. Alright, so right now while I have the rear wheel out, now is the perfect time to install the new brake pads in the rear. Service the system because I need to bleed the system with some new brake fluid. I'm going to do that right now before I throw that rear wheel in and button things up in the rear end. Okay guys, so right now I'm currently bleeding the rear brakes, and I'm going to bring you guys in and show you exactly why you should do this more frequently so you can have optimal braking. Naturally, brake fluid is hygroscopic, so that means it absorbs moisture from the air. So you should change it at least every 2 years. The earlier the better. Preventive maintenance is going to save your parts, it's going to save your motorcycle. So I'm going to bring you in closer to the rear brake reservoir over here. I'm going to show you exactly what your brakes are going to look like if it's not serviced properly. So this is the rear brake cylinder or rear brake reservoir, and as you can see, there's lots of gunk. Like I've currently almost drained all the brake fluid that's left in here, and you see all that jelly stuff in there. That's in the brake system. You do not want this on a sports motorcycle or on any vehicle, as a matter of fact. So it's really gunked up in there. I need to clean that up before I start throwing in the new fluid. Okay guys, as you can see, I have the new brake pads installed and the rear caliper. I serviced this caliper, cleaned out everything, cleaned the piston seals and the whole brake dust, grimes, all that's cleaned out. So before I did this, I had to bleed the system, right? So I had to push all the fluid out this way, but that also locked up the brakes. And when I released that pressure, more fluids came back from the brake line up into the reservoir. So what I'm gonna do right now is you need to fit something in here that's gonna be as thick as the rear brake rotor that's on the wheel. And then when you do that, you can bleed the system again, and that way this brake pad does not lock up on you. And then when you remove that piece of whatever it is you're gonna put in there, you can just slide the rotors on. So for example, a wrench like this will work. You fit it right in there like so. You completely bleed the system, and when that's done, you just take this out and then you can just slide this onto the rear rotors. Now that that's all taken care of, it's time to throw the new EK chain on the bike. And just like that, guys, we've done lots of work to this motorcycle. New sprockets, new chain, new brake pads all around. We've also bled the brakes in the rear. We're gonna jump onto the front and bleed those brakes too, because I can guarantee you the fluid is looking no good. So we're gonna do that quickly, and then we're gonna do something else. All right, guys, as you can see, I just popped open the lid for the front brake reservoir, and that fluid is very, very bad. You never want your brake fluid to get this bad, guys. Change it. Like I said, every 2 years is what is the expected minimum to do that. You can do that every year if you choose, but try to get that done sooner rather than later. So without much more talking, I'm gonna drain some of this and then start bleeding the brakes and throwing some new fluid in there. One very important tip: whenever you're bleeding brakes on a motorcycle, you always want to start, or anything as a matter of fact, you always want to start from the farthest brake to the master cylinder. So in this case, the farthest one would be the left side of the motorcycle, then you do the right side, and then you do up at the master cylinder. That's always the best way to get this done. So without much more talking, I'm gonna start bleeding the brakes on that side, repeat the same thing on the other side, and then move up to the top. Okay guys, and just like that, the front brakes are bled. As you can see, that's a brand new fluid in there. That's what you want in your motorcycle. Okay guys, we've done a lot of work on the bike, and now it's time to do the most basic maintenance you can ever do with a motorcycle, and that's the oil change. So I'm gonna start it up, let it warm up, so that oil is gonna get out of there much quicker, and then we're gonna change the oil. Okay, so you just picked up a used motorcycle. Everything we're gonna get done in this video are things that you should look to getting done when you pick up any motorcycle. Used, fairly used, even if it's a track, street bike, doesn't matter what it is. Things like this will prolong the life of that motorcycle and you'll have lots of good memories on it. Just like this bike, it's gotten all the basic stuff done. Brakes, front and rear. The brake system has been completely bled, front and rear. We have new chain, new sprocket, front and rear. That is all good. We opened her up, installed brand new spark plugs, a brand new air filter. Now we know this vehicle is going to start properly, it's going to breathe properly, it's going to make good power. The next thing we're going to get done right now is to bleed the coolant system. We want to get all of that old coolant out, get some fresh stuff in there so this vehicle or this motorcycle will run at its best. Alright, right now as you can see, we have the right side fairing completely removed. Over here is the coolant reservoir, the rad. So what we're going to do right now is start this bike, get it up to operating temperature. And over on the other side is the water pump. We're going to drain over there and refill it. Alright, so like I mentioned, you just want to make sure you start up the bike, run it until the fan kicks on. That way you know it's for sure it's operating temperature. Take that old coolant out of there and get some new coolant in the system. And we're almost there, guys. The next and the last thing we're gonna do on this bike is loop the cables. I'm gonna show you exactly how I do it. And that's it, guys. We've done everything that's been planned for this motorcycle. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, drop a comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.